It's a new rise.
Can somebody lift those hands?
It's a new rise.
I need you to speak it over your own life
It's
tonight.
a new rise.
It's a new rise.
Hope it started. Well, there we are. Hello. Good evening. Megan DiMartino here this evening, this eve of eves of during the Christmas week. I'm so thrilled to be here with you. I am going to be sharing a holiday Christmas story with you, interviewing my dear friend Angeline Moore. I am up in New Jersey. I live in Texas. I say that I'm a New York girl deep in the heart of Texas with a creative, serving, mentoring spirit. And I am here. This is Thursday evening, the 21st of December. I flew in on Monday to go upstate New York on Tuesday for a business connection. And it was very Holy Spirit derived and created. I drove back today and had lunch with a dear friend and her daughter. And then I came back, set up my ring light, and I'm in the hallway of my sister's home. Behind me, right there, is a painting that my father did, Ray DiMartino. I speak about him often. He's one of my main mentors of life. He was an over-the-horizon hope and possibilities guy. And he just truly filled my spirit with that Propel vision. So with that said, tonight I want to stay in the theme of the holidays, but as we know, this is the Propel community, Propel Your Business and Life Activation Program. I've started, scaled, and sustained many businesses, built them, and sold 3 of the 7-figure businesses. And I share that with you not to impress you, but impress upon you that you too can do this, but you have to see it, believe it, and take action. And that's really what this season is all about. It's seeing the essence of this and holding it in your spirit and taking action with it, being kind, to speak and, thank everyone that you come in contact with, because it's contagious. Joy is truly something that we receive through grace, and that it is truly something that we can pass on. As I said, it's contagious. So without further ado, and we'll talk about the Propel program and other things that Angeline and I are doing during this interview. But without further ado, I'd like to introduce to you my dear friend, colleague, partner in business, Angeline Moore.
Hello, everyone.
Hello, my love. Hello. Well, last week we didn't do a Propel deep dive because I was up in Dallas on business at a conference, and you were up to your eyeballs in doing your conference, your summit, Elevate Your Business Summit with Tina Wilson. And so we both decided that was, even though we are committed to doing this and having consistency, we knew that there was just no way we could pull that off. So we let everyone know that we would not be there last Thursday night for the deep dive, but that we would be here this week. And so I asked you in preparation for Christmas, if you would be so kind and generous of your time, because you're busy with your family and everything you do in your career and your company, Kingdom Sparkle Agency, to just carve out this time. Even though you're, with me, helping me with this each week, I wanted people to know about you, Angeline. So you ready? Buckle up, baby.
I'm ready.
Okay. So, what I really try to accomplish with the deep dive is to help our guests. And this is being streamed live into YouTube. It's live on LinkedIn. It's live on the Facebook Propel Your Business and Life page. And it's also, of course, here. With that said,
I also got it started on my Instagram, by the way. So that's new. So it's on my Instagram at the Angeline Moore streaming. So hello everyone in the Facebook and LinkedIn, YouTube, and now Instagram.
Awesome. And I was thinking as I was driving back from upstate New York today, a little deviation here, but maybe we should put it live on, like you just said, on the Angeline Moore Insta, page. Maybe we should just do it on our own personal Facebook pages as well.
Yeah,
So people
it is on yours. So I did that
would.
today.
Okay.
So I don't know why I wasn't doing it before. I think we were trying to push everyone to the Propel page, but it is live on the Propel activation page, your personal Facebook. We're
Mhm.
also in our Beauty with Benefits Facebook page for all of our affiliates to see us. I did drop it in the Soarin' Sparkle group, Facebook group as well, because you've been an honored guest on there, and we have a great community, our BWC community, and in there. So plus your
Wonderful.
LinkedIn and YouTube.
So we're all over the universe. So with that
Yes.
said, my friend, I want to, before we go into a deep dive of you, I want to share with our guests how impactful you have been for my year of 2023. I had started other projects after I sold my brick and mortar business in 20, the Propel program, created it, but to get it out there and get it on platforms like your KSA, it's not my wheelhouse. And so we met last year at the Mom Link get together, and then we met again at another I think it was at Tamara Andrus's program.
Yeah.
Yeah,
The grow your business for God's
right,
sake.
right.
Mm-hmm.
And so at that time, I said to you, "Do you have time for lunch?" And we sat down, and that's really where we started, communicating about what my needs were and what you could actually do, because I, quite frankly, really did not know. But I knew on some level, because with your Faith Forward Summit, which I had been a guest on earlier in the year, or the year prior, I had a one-on-one conversation with you, and I asked you, because I was in the second summit, and I was very impressed by what you did, or what I saw and how it was put together. And I asked you, who does this? And you said, me. And so, goodness gracious, because I had been on many summits, certainly during COVID and then after, and many of them were just so poorly put together. And the whole essence, the IT part of it was very poor, and it was so well done. And so that piqued my aha. And then, wanted to sit down and know exactly what you did and how we could possibly join forces together. So that was the beginning of our relationship. But God had a plan. Jeremiah 29:11, there's always a plan. We just have to get out of our own way and let God bring, with Holy Spirit guiding us. So I'd like to go back to a little bit about you. Now, I know that in your best-selling book, in 20th Century Authors, is that the name of it?
It's Voices of the 21st Century, Women Transforming the World. I always have a copy next to me just because it reminds me that, yes, I am a published author. So, yes, that is, I'm a part of the anthology. There's about 40 other women that were part of this, and we have all of our stories in here. So I was really honored to be part of it. And it went to #1 international bestseller. So I can say that.
So I have read it, and not only your story, but several others. I haven't read the entire book, but several others. But your story is powerful, and we all know on some level, if you are an educator, a communicator, a business person, on some level in sales, because we're all selling. Meaning, in selling to me is about an information giver, solve a problem, serve a need.
Yes.
So, I mean, it's not a fast Eddie or a sleazy whatever. It is about helping others. So you are in your a portion of the anthology, you share about more recent though. So we'll go to that later. But I want to go back, Angeline. You grew up in Florida. Is that correct?
I did. I was actually born in the Philippines. But when I was 3, my mom, she came, I want to say 6 months before me to America. And then she sent for me, and I came to to Florida since when I was 3 years old in '88. So I've been here ever since.
Mhm. Right, right.
And yeah,
Yes,
I like to say that I was made in the Philippines. Then they imported me into the Florida, and then I got Florida grown like the oranges.
like
And
the oranges, right?
now I'm
The
here.
orange groves. And they're so, natural and beautiful, like you are.
Oh, thank you.
Those orange groves, I just love. My parents lived in Florida for the latter 20 years of their lives, and I spent a lot of time in Florida in the Stewart, Palm City area on the East Coast.
Oh,
Um,
it's a beautiful area.
And I have a lot of friends that live over in the Fort Myers / Naples, and so I would drive around that Lake Okeechobee to
Oh,
get
yes,
to.
yes, yes.
And of course Disney World back in the day when my kids were younger. But anyhow, so you spent that formative period of time in Florida. When did you recognize that you had a gift in what you're doing today? Was that part of your because you're of the age where all of that electronic piece started evolving. So when did you
Mm.
realize you had a talent in all of that? Because, and let me interject this. The reason I'm asking this is because I didn't finish that point earlier. What I try to do with the interview on the deep dive is to help people see that they too can evolve the way you have and accomplish things that you have. Okay.
Yes, I love how you beautifully tie it all together. So for me, I've always been drawn to technology and the next thing with electronics. It's always been something that came easy to me. I was always the one being the eldest in the family. My mom was like, Angelina, how do we do this? How do we do that? And when computers started coming around and AOL was the thing, I'm dating myself. But when that first started coming on and learning how to log in, and I really dove into the whole MySpace world where you got to like customize the page, and I got into the coding of all of that. So it's always been ingrained in me learning that piece because it always intrigued me so it's always just been something I was good at and I was able to pick up on really fast because I loved learning about it, and I loved being that go-to person when people ask me how to do something, and I'm like, oh, I know how. And my husband always asked me like, why isn't this working? And I would go in there and like fiddle around with whatever and get it. And then as I started my journey, my 9 to 5 that I've been part of for almost 12 years, I was in a support department where troubleshooting was part of it. So that also was really easy and came simple to me that I could like dive into the why behind it all. And then as I found my entrepreneur heart, I've always had this entrepreneur heart, but like finding my niche and my zone of genius, Ramon Ray likes to say, and Dr. Jeannie always talks about being in your zone of genius. I I kind of fell into my lap. Like you said, we're part of this mom link community, and I surrounded myself with others. Christina Howard was a big part of that, and you and stars Tina, and I was helping each of you do things digitally in the digital space. And Christina's like, "Oh, how much do I owe you for this work?" And I'm like, "What?" Like what do you mean? And so it was kind of one of those downloads that God's like, he's put these in my heart. I've done this, I've invested in this course, I've became certified as a life coach, I became certified as a laughter yoga leader, I did all these things, but finding where my field of favor that you talk about and Pedro Adeo always talks about has been a work in progress as I continue leaning more into my faith walk, so then I can share more of my faith talk and lead where his plans are versus what I feel my plans were.
Yes,
So,
yes. So let's go back to, because I know that this is for others, is very, very important. During this year, 2023, you completed your degree, your college degree.
I did. It was, I it was so crazy because I didn't know I was going to do it. But then when I looked back and I have teenage boys and I don't even know why I was looking at it. I think I applied for a manager position at my current job and I didn't get it. And they asked if I was interested in going back to school. I'm like, no, like, cause my heart was entrepreneurship. But then when I look back at it, I was like, well, what do I need left? Right. Cause I remember I went through all the college and then kids, like life be life. And I just kind of stopped. And you know, things came up, excuses came up, and all these things. And and then I found out I only needed 4 classes to get my degree. So I was like, all right, well, don't be like you guys. It's never too early or too late to do anything to make your life better or accomplish anything that you want to set your heart to. But I do highly advise not doing all 4 credit classes and doing a college courses at one time in one semester when you are busy with kids and wifing and entrepreneurship and working. So I did that though.
Excuse me. You have a full-time career job. Hello.
I do.
You tend to not mention that. This woman has a full-time career job and
I do.
her 3 sunshines and her husband and her building her entrepreneurial business. So
Yeah.
when you shared with me, whenever that was, that you were getting close to, or maybe just taking your final exams, and I'm like, excuse me, you know, and then you got your notification and then your diploma and all of that, and so
Yeah.
it like Angeline just said, it's never too early or too late to create, and like you just said, the life of your dreams. But what you also said there is that you initially said no because it didn't fit into your plan, but there's no reason why you should not have completed. Didn't need to do it all in one semester, but not to complete what you had started. So that's another whole conversation, about starting and then continuing on. It's that commitment and then, sustaining. But I just say kudos, my friend, to that.
Thank you. Yeah, I graduated. It was actually this time last year when I had my graduation ceremony.
Yeah.
So December 13, 2022 is when it was crazy because
Okay.
yeah, it was last year. I was crazy because it was a drive-by graduation because they were still like getting used to all the things. So they were still doing drive-by graduations. So that was really fun. I actually enjoyed it better because there wasn't like a huge crowd everywhere. It was just like focused on me. And then they just drove through as I walked the stage and stuff, my family. So that was really fun though. But yeah, I didn't know if I could. And it really proved that even though I knew that it wasn't alignment, it was something that I wanted to show my children that when you start something and you commit to it, you follow through and you finish. And it doesn't matter if life be life and you have all these years in between of when you went to school, you can still accomplish anything that you put your heart set to. And so I really wanted to show my children that. And I was like, how am I going to tell them to finish something when I didn't? So it was really for me to have that and say that I did it, and then show to them that
Yes.
commit, even if it's scary, even if it's been years of not even knowing how to do anything. So I was really nervous about it, but at the same time I'm really proud that I actually got it done.
To me, it's so important. Like you said, that commitment and follow through and not stopping. So it needed to be highlighted tonight because
Thank you.
it really is. Because also, I want people to see not only from that commitment and continue on and finishing it, but also that that they too may not college, it might not be college, but they may have started something. They saw something in their, or they started something in their lives, and life got in the way. Like you had
Yeah.
children and different things came in the way, and they didn't finish it. But there was that nagging thing that said, "I really do need to finish this," but you don't take that step. And you did take that step. So it's a very important piece and it will help not only for your sons and your children, but also in your life as it evolves, that's a foundation for it. You know,
Yes.
you went back
Yes.
and did it. And it is a foundation for propelling your KSA, your agency. So I want to spend a few minutes on basically just a few minutes on this field of favor that you mentioned a minute ago. Um, because I wanted to define that a tad. I mean, zone of genius, and which is fabulous. But it's that everyone's internal field of favor. I say I'm a New York girl, deep in the heart of Texas, with a creative, serving, mentoring spirit. Um, and that's the essence. That's the synergistic definition of me. But we all have that field of favor. And as I often say, if I wasn't creating something, I couldn't breathe. So it's that, and like I pointed out, my dad, Ray DiMartino's painting behind me. I mean, you look around Mary's house, there's stained glass flowers that Ray did. He never stopped, that guy. I mean, he just kept going because he was a creative. So after he, wasn't in business any longer. So what would you say, Angeline, to crystallize? Well, let me say it this way as well. Um, how does it help you, and how can you help others to go within and crystallize to know what? Because I'm sure you've heard people say this. I don't know what my zone of genius is or my field of favor is. I don't know that. How would you help another to go in, A, and B, what would you say truly is your field of favor, your zone of genius? I know it's IT and creative, but in a more of a, that field of favor. How would you help others to identify, and what is your, deep in the heart of Texas and New York, your field of favor, and Florida?
It's still an ongoing process for that, honestly, Megan. And when I love the question, because for me, I'm a very faith forward girl. That's where my Faith Forward Summit came from. I've always loved Jesus. I came and found God, my Father, at an early age, growing up with no father, right? So I never knew my biological father. Even in the later years where we had a little bit of communication on Facebook, he died and passed away before I even got to meet him in person. So my father has always been my heavenly Father. And I've always ran away from that pull and that tug of where he wanted me to really sparkle. And it was when I finally got quiet, I paused, I leaned into the prayer, and I really gave it to him, and let him lead my path more. And that's when more opportunities and the doors opened, and the people that were put in my path that I had in my life, that I surrounded myself with, and that proximity is power, really pulled that sparkle out of me and let me see what I already knew. Right. So
Yes.
through them, through Christina Howard, through the Mom Link, through you, through Stars Tina, through Ramon Ray and Glenn Lundy and Danelle Delgado and all these mentors that I started getting poured into, to also pour back, right? Because I've always had a serving heart, but with that, God showed me really what I needed to focus on, because we all have many talents, right? We all can do so many things, right? But when you speak a field of favor and how to expand His kingdom and His plan, it's like, okay, Lord, who do I serve today? How do you want me to serve? And a lot of it has been in my quickness. I don't know, like agility to take technology in the digital space and that make that digital footprint seem simple and streamlined, to help activate a line and amplify that in others. Because we live in such a technological forward world. So bridging those gaps, bridging those connections, and allowing me to be that connector for others, so that letting them know it can be trust me, it's chaotic out there trying to figure out all the things. I was there until I found, what worked for me. And it's still a process.
Sure.
It's been mainly, I have to give it to God. I have to let go and let God, and he continues to direct my path. Because even now, even with my established Kingdom Sparkle agency, I know there's still more, and it's going to be more than what I've currently have put out into, to the clients of, here's a system that can help you get out there. But the agency, I feel, is going to continue to grow, and I see it being more impactful. I see it being, this elite kingdom global impact that I have in my heart for. So it's just an ongoing
Yeah.
an ongoing process. That
Well,
was a long-winded answer.
but it's an important answer, because there isn't one, field of favor. It's your God-given talent, but it's always going to be honed and crafted and evolved. And so yours is that electronics, IT, but it's always going to evolve, just like starting your agency. And it's going to evolve. And what you do in it and how you do it is going to evolve. And that's an important thing, too, because to share with our guests. Because people perceive, one of the main reasons people don't start things is that they feel lesser than, that they really aren't prepared, or they, why bother? I'm not going to succeed, so why bother? And it really is the journey. It's that quote of, 1,000 steps, meaning, or you mentioned this in one of your um, Breakfast with Champions segments about Edison. He failed 1,000 times. He knew, as he knew from a science standpoint, that he was going to invent electricity or the light bulb, but he 1,000 times. I mean, he could have stopped. That's why the 3 feet from gold, the gentleman I was meeting with today, I shared that with him, because he's creating a hallmark city, a town. I mean, it's again, I'm not going to talk about this, but this is a huge project. And God had me drive up there and meet with this man, because it was plain and simple, he needed encouragement.
Yeah.
Plain and simple. And and with that said, he knows that he's not going to stop, but it's very daunting. And that's a big project. But just starting a company, starting KSA, starting my first skincare brand, whatever it is, or just even moving to Texas, for goodness sakes,
Yeah.
with a 11-year-old kid. I mean, so it's these decisions, these moments in time but again, like you said, looking back, if you hadn't done it, right? Like finishing college, your world wouldn't have collapsed, but that is an accomplishment that you will take with you forever, forever.
Yes. And honestly, it's okay to not know, right? Like, it's okay to be like, all right, well, what am I good at? And even if it's so small, like at first, to me, it was, I'm really good at going live. And I'm like, let me just do a summit. That's kind of the same thing. I just go live and I talk. And I'm really good at sharing, allowing space, creating this space for others to share their stories. Like, I really wanted that for them. So that's where the Faith Forward Summit came along. And I gathered, everyone that was in our elite Rise and Grind group. And I was like, hey, I know you have a story. Let's share it. Let's continue to build on this momentum from Grow Your Business for God's sake, and share your faith story and go from there. And it's been a really great journey. I didn't think it was going to be where it is now. I never thought I would create KSA, Kingdom Sparkle Agency, and have a systems to offer people for a tool to use. I honestly thought it would be different, but I know that what has been stirred. When God gives you these gifts and he puts these dreams in your heart, he already has plans to make it happen, right? So everything in between that you're learning, like me going back to school and going to college, is just another stepping stone adding to my stories to where the greater plan is for him. So that's what
So
I've
let's
learned.
talk a bit about, and this gets now into your chapter in your anthology. You speak about this. You have a podcast, and like you just said, I've told you this often. You have a beautiful voice. You have a beautiful speaking voice, and you're very clear thinker and putting things down. Maybe a little help with Chat GPT, but
Oh yeah, AI is the awesome.
but no foul, no harm. But you did share in your podcast essentially what you shared in your chapter. And what I'd like you to kind of tie together with this is moments in time that would stop someone in their tracks from continuing on. What share with our guests, and this is kind of the Christmas essence of, Jesus came here to show us he's the truth, the truth, the life, the light, bringing
Yeah.
truth, meaning the word of God to life, bringing the light of God for us. And so whether you know the Bible or Jesus or the scripture at all, people know that he existed.
Yeah.
But he had a pretty difficult end. But then he didn't. He rose again. And that to me is what Christmas is about.
Yes.
And to really impact that essence. And so share with our guests a bit. You don't have to go into anything you don't want to, but my point of the point is share with our guests about overcoming really challenges that could have stopped you in your tracks. But you've already just said it, meaning, and just like Jesus came with a mission. He knew his mission, and he was not going to stop, no matter how difficult it was for him. He, as incarnate, is a human. So share, though, your point of reality with that, and tie it back to the Christmas story.
So what I have found, and I share this in my chapter, it's just a small snippet of the different valleys that I've been through and what really pulled me through. And honestly, I didn't even think of it as a valley at the time. I got kind of like thrown. I felt like I was at the high of the mountaintop. I felt like my faith, Glenn Lundy always tells us to rate where we are in certain areas of your life, including faith, family, fitness, health, finances, all the stuff. And I felt like I was at the top of all of that, right? I was at the top of the game. And during this time, I got thrown back down, and I've had a hard life, right? I didn't grow. I had my single mom coming from a different country, trying to make it in this world in America. And, I grew up super fast, went through a lot of my own tragedy and traumas as a child. But through it all, like I said, God found me in those moments and pulled me through. And when I wrote my chapter in the book, and why I shared this particular story, is because I already thought my faith was there, and it really tested me though in this valley that he put me through. And it really forced me to ask what was the lesson in it and accept it, and hold on to that, because I almost lost it. I almost did, because I've been through so much, and this thing that in the chapter that I shared really put me in a roller coaster of what the fuck? I don't mean to drop that bomb, but I was just like, it was just kind of like, what? So not what I expected. But with that, I found that they're not coincidences, all these things. and a lot of times a lot of people say it. I find them, I call them now God instances. So you go through these times to really put you through moments to really reflect on and grow. Because let's face it, especially different little seeds, all you need is that mustard seed of faith. But the little seed has to be buried. It has to be in the dark. It has to be underground and completely stayed in the soil for over months sometime. It takes some time to really be able to get their roots in and then sprout and break through. So it's in the valleys that I feel where I grew the strongest. And even when I didn't feel I had any of the faith, God put enough people around me, the prayer warriors around me, to set me up to hold me through it. And that's where I saw the importance of, the reasons why I was part of these different groups and communities is because I needed them when I didn't have it.
Yes. Well, that's also very important point to our guest as well. Even during this season, that many people are alone, and it highlights that. But we're never alone, and it's us reaching out and getting out of our own comfort zone, as you've said, in reference to other things, but to reach out, like you just said, to different communities. You've mentioned Glenn Lundy several times, and back in the day with the beginning stages of Rise and Grind, and then that Elite, and then the Clubhouse, and all of these other things. But there are things always available to us, and to get out.
And I feel like to tie it back to Christmas, it really reminds you that you talk about it and I love your business brand Novita, because it just really ties it all together with new birth, new beginnings, new life. And that's what I feel Christmas always brings to me, is that new birth of Jesus, that reminder that there is a bright star, that there is, even though he was born to die, here is what we have to continue and have hope in, So we do have some guests in the room. I'm going to bring them up on stage if they're ready to be part of it. I saw them on video, but now they're not. So I don't know if they want to talk. Let me know, guys. But we have Jessica Powers here, Lisa Herbershit. I'm not pronouncing it right. Herbstreit. And then Michael Guthrie himself, who will be singing in 20 minutes in his own room for his one word room. Welcome, guys. Hi, Michael.
Hello. Welcome to the Propel, Your Business and Life Deep Dive. And hello. Now I'm
it's
sitting
Lisa.
down.
Lisa.
Hi, everyone. It's easier than it looks.
Herbstreit. I was like, I butcher the last name so bad, so I apologize, Lisa. It's a beautiful name, though. And I love the red. Hi, Jessica. I heard you on mute too. Welcome.
So, Michael, we normally do this at 8:00 Eastern, and because of your BWC room tonight, with the one word rather, that Angeline and I decided we would do it at 7 so we could attend with you. So we're looking forward to that.
Well, that is really, really kind. I'm excited about it. I'm happy that Dan Britton does this every year for us.
I know, it's so cool.
I think this will be the third year that he's been willing to come in and just really talk about how the book was written and how we go about picking that one word.
It's so exciting. And if you guys do not know Michael Guthrie, he has Thankful in All Things. He has a blog post, and he started a room that he does every Sunday. And he has locked arms with the author from One Word, who started this whole trajectory. Like, we all pick a resolution for the year. Well, he has started this pick a word for the year. And I love how he brings it to life in his book. And there was a journal. I got the journal I probably can reuse it this year because I forgot about it, but it's really cool. So I'm really excited to hear from him again. So join us on Clubhouse. It's the audio app that honestly connected all of us together. So it's going to be really neat. It'll be in the Breakfast with Champions community space tonight. So in about 15 minutes. So I'm really excited. Lisa, welcome. Are you part of the BWC community too? Welcome to the Propel Room.
I was going to say, yeah, it's the first time I'm friends with Megan, and it's the first time I've been able to come to a deep
Lisa,
dive. So I'm excited
I
to be
saw
here.
that you joined this week. Lisa
Yeah.
is in the Austin area. She goes
Yep.
to Celebration Church, where I attend as well. And
Mhm.
Lisa had stem cell last year and helped her life tremendously. And I was so thrilled when I saw that. So Angeline, this shows you, meaning Lisa, you saw it on the e-blast, correct? Is that how you decided? Yep. Yeah. So again, and I'm sure you would agree with this, Michael, meaning that there's so many different mediums. And if you're focused and you're clear on your mission, your vision, and your presentation, you just keep doing it, and people will listen. They will hear our hearts. So Lisa, thank you for joining us. And what we're saying also is that, Michael, you've heard me speak about Clubhouse and the audio app. You've heard me speak about that. And so this is a room or a club or whatever it's called these days on Clubhouse. So, if you can get the app, join us this evening, because Michael Guthrie is interviewing the author from this amazing book. And we all kind of focus this time of year on this one word. Mine is expansion. And
that's a big word.
Okay. It's full of so many different, avenues, but the Lord put that in my spirit. So that is my word. So Michael, Angeline mentioned you have a room on Sunday. What time? And this, Lisa, this is for, again, this Clubhouse app and Breakfast with Champions club or room. What time is it on Sunday?
Yeah, I think, Megan, what you said a couple minutes ago, and Angeline, you as well, that it doesn't matter how many people show up.
Oh, no.
It's if you've been called into something, then you need to be disciplined and obedient to that calling. And with the different changes, I mean, Clubhouse coming out of different scenarios, and then they shifted things around, and it's kind of a you try to. It's almost like what's that game where you the hammer on the gophers kind of thing. You're trying to whack-a-mole. There you go. You're trying, but the bottom line is, Sunday mornings at 7:00 Eastern Standard Time. It's called Thankful in All Things, and it came out of my blog that I've been writing now for several years since a health challenge, and I just got called into it. It'll be 2 years in January, where we meet every Sunday morning at 7:00, and just like you guys starting a little bit early, which I really appreciate. I one, felt called into it. Two, just wasn't sure when it was going to be. And then I just spent a great deal of time trying to make sure I didn't step on anybody else's toes in setting up a room. And what I didn't realize was that 7:00 on Sunday mornings was a time where I pretty much could be there every week. Kind of like Glenn with 5:00 or 5:30 or whatever. Not a lot of other people are doing stuff at that time of day. So, and it's just become this wonderful place. We talk about it being God's room, not our room. And there's a really strong nucleus of folks that are there, pretty much every week. And the way that they support each other throughout the week is pretty extraordinary. And, you go into the room just expecting God to do things, and he always does.
So Lisa, I think you would really benefit and enjoy this community, honestly.
Yeah.
Really, honestly. These are all people. Now, have you been in the room listening to Angeline and I?
I was a little late because I was thinking it was started at 7, but I was a little late, but I was listening, and I loved your testimony. I got to listen while you were describing going back to school and finishing school and all that kind of stuff. So
Good. So you were fairly early on. Well, that's great, because you got to hear, meaning Angeline and I, as I shared early on, met through these rooms that we're talking about. And but she is a very talented, she's a very talented person. And she is a very talented person. And I had a lot of need, to expand certain horizons that the Lord had put in my spirit to do, such as this Propel business program. Mm-hmm. So it just was a hand in glove, because I've started quite a few businesses, and she was beginning to begin this business. So it's a mutual structure of helping each other expand. And then, Michael, I just want to share with you, and Lisa, you don't probably know this, but I'm putting it now in our e-blast structure, the Monday Motivation Mindset e-blast. Okay. But I guess it was maybe 3 months ago, Michael, Angeline, maybe 4, but she said to me that the company that she works with for her platform was adding e-commerce and an affiliate program to it. So that means the back end is there for her to attach to our program. So with my products, which she mentioned earlier, Novità, which means new birth, new life, always something new. I was wringing my hands this past year saying, Lord, what should I do? I mean, should I continue, because I had sold the large business, and I don't have the time to go into it, but I wasn't going to close it down, but I was feeling that maybe the season for it was over. But this has been a 35-year project. And so it's part and parcel of my DNA now. And so when she said that, I said, oh my goodness. And so I started praying about it. And so we've now together, doing this together, and it's called the Novità Spa Affiliate Program. But I also said to her, we're going to do this differently, girl. Many people have done affiliates and, multi-level marketing stuff. And, a couple of years later, they're not doing anything. Well, I want to utilize the Propel program to train others to start, scale, and sustain the business and life of their dreams. So look at God working. And this is my living legacy, as Sharon Lecter says. So God is always working and guiding us in so many different ways. So do you both have questions you'd like to ask Angeline? Because that's what we do at the end. And now I'm looking, we have you probably have to leave to get ready for your room, but would you like to ask Lisa?
I don't really have a question, but I just want to share with people that are listening or will listen later that there's no doubt Angeline has a gift of hospitality, but she also has the gift of encouragement. And early on when we met, and she asked if I would speak at one of her first virtual seminars, I was really touched, and I said yes. But it was amazing how she just made me feel so incredibly special, and that it was really it was a gift that I had said yes, whereas I felt gifted to be asked, and came on a second time, which I absolutely enjoyed. And Angeline, we spent a lot of time this past Sunday processing your guys' hybrid event, the week before, because folks were just coming out of the Saturday in-person event. And, just the way you've grown in the time as when you first started out is pretty special. But the more important thing to me is the gift that you have for encouraging people. And it's something I really respect and admire.
Oh my gosh, Michael, thank you so much. That means so much to me, because I really wanted to highlight you. That's what I love, is bringing out the sparkle that you have. Like, yes, men have sparkle too. God-given, you have a God-given sparkle. And I love bringing that out and shining for his kingdom, because that's honestly the way I see it. Like, it's always been in my heart to help activate, align, and amplify that, because in others, like that's what gives me joy. So thank you.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, that first, when we were first kind of getting to know each other and we were doing the one word room the first time, I think you ended up choosing to use the word sparkle.
I did. That's
that
my life word. You told me to call it my life word.
Absolutely. That's right. He did. He told you to call it your life word. That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I got to head out, but
Yes,
bless
do.
you both.
Thank you, Michael. We'll see you soon. I'll see you in the room.
Grateful
Yes.
for what you guys do. Thank you.
Thank you, Michael. So, Lisa, do you have any just question, comment, thought that you'd like? And I'm so excited that you're here.
Yeah, I was gonna say, just in listening to all the different hats you wear, Angeline, one really stood out to me, and I don't even know that Megan knows this because I've kind of been busy all fall doing it, but I just finished a life coach certification class this fall, and really kind of did it from the point of view of wanting to coach myself, wanting to go deeper. Just, I'm not really like going to quit I have a 30-year corporate accounting career. So I'm not really ready to give that up 100% to coach. Right. But what's been really interesting this whole year, which like Megan said, it started out by health-wise getting my plantar fasciitis in step because I, had the stem cell, and then feeling better, then all of a sudden I could invest in myself a little bit more. Yay. And just doing a lot of thought work and doing coaching and just learning about life coaching, which I knew, I'd heard of it. I just didn't really know a lot about it, but also learning how everybody could use one. Yeah. And then I've really probably been coaching Megan coached me into stem cell. Megan coached me. We coach each other when we go to church, when we support each other in small groups, and we support each other in different ministries. We're coaching constantly. And what was really funny is I was doing my training when I would go to see my father, and we'd just be sitting, just visiting. It was funny. I'd start listening to him, and I'm like, he's coaching me right now.
You start picking up on those cues.
Parenting really can be coach if you have the right parent. Yeah. And I do have a parent who's a wonderful coach. So, and he always has been. So
Lisa, I love that.
And it is anything you could share about encouraging, like how to start or what to do, or anything.
Well, join keep coming back to the Propel community, my friend. Yes. That is what my course is about. Propel your business and life. And I have one the start module. We'll talk about that, Lisa.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm so proud of you that you took this step, because as you said, we're all coaches, and it's just gaining that information, that knowledge, and sharing. And that's really one of the reasons that Angeline and I do the deep dive every week, because it is about interviewing people so other people hear their stories, to give you, as Michael Guthrie just said, that encouragement to know that you too can do what is your field of favor. Because Lisa, you are an encourager. She's amazing, Angeline, and folks listening.
I'm excited to see and hear more and learn more.
Yeah. She's a very involved individual with this very large mega church. So very, very exciting. Hello, and this is, I can't even see.
Jessica Powers.
I can't even see it. Good evening. Good evening. So we're going to close now. It's about 8:00, right, Angeline?
We have about 4 minutes. Jessica, did you want to add in real quick to the conversation before we close?
I did. I wanted to add a final. Of course, we're all from BWC together, and wanted to give flowers. I've heard glimpses of your testimony and your story before, but it's always so nice to come back and hear different iterations and different layers depending on what's going on. So it was kind of special for you two to be doing sort of a pre-Christmas call, and just as business partners and working together what you're doing. So I enjoyed that, and as a appreciation and gratitude for being in the same circles of influence, I'm here for the expansion and seeing where God takes everything in 2024, and just want to honor Angeline with her faithfulness and just staying focused on where she needed to be with her business and leveling up, and it's set the tides for all of us to just press into where we can grow more. Thank you for your vulnerability tonight, and definitely want to stay in touch with you ladies and where we can maybe partner up on the affiliate side, etc. So thank you.
Yes, and
Hello, Jessica. We'll talk more. The
Jessica,
relationship architect herself. I love Jessica. She's always such a supportive soul. She's there all the time on the BWC stage. And I'm so glad that you came here and you were able to finally get the link. I know that you were having trouble trying to get us
Seriously.
to the green room. I made sure today. I was like, Jessica needs this. And so I double checked everything because I always look and I'm like, she's supposed to be getting it. It says she is. Gotta love technology though. So I think I finally figured it out and you're on the right path now. So we're good to go.
So Jessica, you did join the affiliate program, correct?
Actually, no, I didn't, not yet.
Okay.
So we'll definitely, I need more info.
Well,
So
if you just put
we'll
it up
talk
there,
more.
Angeline, yeah, just go to affiliates plural .novitasspa.com and you'll just read about it. Just go there and read about it. But you can contact either of us about it as well. So it's going to be a business building, and we're going to use the medium of the Novitas Spa clinical products, which I hope you will love. But again, it will be using that as a tool to help you start, scale, and sustain the business and life of your dreams. So yeah,
her products are really amazing. Actually, I feel like I'm aging backwards. I'm getting to that fourth level. I know that Megan laughs at me when I say that. That's getting higher in the level. She's just like, you have so much time. But I love her products and I've tried everything under the sun. Again, I'm a Filipina. I have super dry skin and I don't want to get gross, but like sometimes I'm just, because I'm in Florida and it's the humidity and the dryness, I'm just like always worried about like having extra lotion in my bag to like slather on my nose and my face because I feel like I'm a peeling snake or lizard sometimes when I go places. And I haven't had to do that now because of these products. So it's been a night and day difference using a skincare line that Megan has been perfecting for 30 years, and this clean beauty is legit. Like a couple years ago, I was on this journey of trying to find more clean products, and so it's been great. We are at the top of the hour. We do need to jump in and support Michael. So thank you guys. Megan, I'll leave you with any final words. I'm so honored for this space, you guys. It was really, really cool. I get nervous about being front and center, being interviewed, because I'm usually in the back end. I'm the tech girl. I go behind the scenes. I come in and say hi. I introduce people, but I really don't like share my stories or do any of that. So Megan always challenges me to do more on that. She is one of my mentors and coaches. And Lisa, I'm excited to continue to see where your coaching business is going to skyrocket in 2024 because it is a very great field to be in. So congratulations on that, Jessica. Of course, you are always such a great supporter, and we're excited to see where we can continue to lock arms. And I'm thrilled for you to be part of the affiliates with us as well. Megan, final last words. I know I can just keep talking. Go.
All I want to share is I invited you to be my guest this evening because of what everyone has said. And I truly, in my heart, that heart link, that connector is to really share the brilliance, the field of favor of others so that other people see. And so we're all linked. I'm in New Jersey, Lisa, so I won't see you this weekend, but love you. And look, I'm thrilled that you're here and so proud of you that you took that.
And when I come back to Austin, we'll just go get lunch.
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we'll see. Hopefully we'll see you all in Michael Guthrie's room. If not, we will, you're receiving your Propel dailies, your motivation mindset Monday e-blast. We're not going, we're not. We'll be here next Thursday night, which is again before New Year's, with another fabulous guest. And then we will start the new year together. So we'll see you soon and be blessed. Thank you.
Bye, everyone. Thank you.
Bye. Thank you.